As I'm sitting here trying to get accustomed to making this guitar into a religion, as of yesterday I decided to make it a religion, which means I just forge ahead in spite of it all. Kind of like that image of Buddha. You see him over there? They call it True Religion. You know, Siddhartha, he could make it happen, right? Rain, sleet, or snow, figure it out. So anyway, these ants, you know, they're kind of like over here doing their thing. And I'm thinking ants can be a blessing, they can also be a curse. See this one over here? It doesn't know the difference between what it needs to do, absolutely what it needs to do, and what it doesn't really need to do. It doesn't need to be on my fucking shoe. Working on its way coming up here to biting me on my fucking ankle. But it doesn't know that, does it? Since it doesn't know that, it can be a bit of a fucking problem. Along with the rest of the mosquitoes and whatever else is out there considered to be useful, you know, at the same time, to you, it could be a pest or a nuisance. You know? Anyhow, having said that, I'll probably run out of storage soon. Because I don't have that much storage in this damn thing. Saved up or whatever. Or left over. But I was thinking, we acclimate to things, don't we? You ever notice how we acclimate to things? Then you take a little bit more incrementally, you know, and it gets the aggregated results of taking on things, you know, in a very little at a time kind of way, sort of way, you know, one transition to another. And then you start off as a baby, yeah? You start off in the womb someplace before you was born, and you got used to that after a while, you know. Then when you were born, you came into this world of whatever madness this happens to be, and you were like such shock, and you started crying because you left the womb, your little home there, and then you came out to this stuff. And you're like, what? You couldn't come out to this world out here, and you're like, what in the hell is all this? You know, so you're in shock. Then one thing leads to another, and you get acclimated to that, and then you're acclimating the whole while until something clicks in your subconscious and your conscious mind, your self-awareness, and all the rest of them clicks at some age, whatever age that happens to be. And I guess it's different for everyone, but there's a general age, right? And then you say, aha, eureka, I've got it. But if you were to be thrust into all of this without that period of getting accustomed to the whole experience of it all, you know, nice and slowly, would you ask yourself, like, where in the hell am I? Like, let's say you were born yesterday, literally, full grown and everything else, and the sun, the moon, all this stuff, without, you know, getting that education that you need, that incremental education. You'd be like, what the fuck, where am I? Do you guys ever wonder about that? Like, where the fuck we're at? And what's it all about? What's it all mean? Some people have referred to this place, this realm, as Hades. Another term for hell. Well, as long as it doesn't get much worse, a lot of people say, well, that's pretty good hell, you ask me. It could be much worse, they'd say. That's what I'm trying to say, as long as it get much worse. Many people say, well, I can deal with that, but that's probably because you're so accustomed to it. You're so used to it. You know, imagine if you came from some place where it's just paradise. And I'm not talking about on Earth, but I'm talking about some other place in the universe where it's just paradise. You know, you don't have all of this drama, all of these obstacles, old age, you know, pain in general, hurt, you know, and all the rest of it. How would you feel about it? This place right here. Have you ever watched that movie City of Angels? Not to make it sound all too bitter or you know, Debbie Downer. Well, Nicolas Cage and that guy from Hill Street Blues, I guess I don't know his name, but he's a popular actor. I don't know his name. They wanted to become human. They didn't want to remain angels. They wanted to come down here and get into the thick of it all, you know? and enjoy what it was to be human, even if it meant that it expired for them very quickly. Their whole thing, they traded in the angel, eternity, the angel, for just being a human for a little while, for a fleeting moment in time, and experience it all. I guess, like they say, it's what you make of it. If it's hell down here, or up here, or whatever the fuck we're at, out here on hell, on Hades, on planet Earth, whatever you want to call it, third stone from the sun, a lot of that has to do with what we're doing on it, on an individual basis and collective basis. Like right now, if I wanted to stop this war that's going on in the world, these major wars that's going on in the world, if let's say it's World War III, they haven't officially said it's World War III, but a lot of people are saying it's World War III, you know. But we're still doing pretty good in the States for it being World War III, are we not? But that can change. Anyway, I'm about to run out of storage. So I guess that's that. I had much more to say, actually.